everyone, this is Reaction Inception here. I have a small little rant to go on, and I didn't even do makeup because I wanted to do this small little rant, although it might not turn out to be small or little. And sorry, someone was staring at me while I was trying to do this, and it's very distracting. Anyway.
I'll take it as a compliment.
Anyway. So, I wanted to do this small little rant. So, my YouTube popped up with a bunch of, like, body positive, Tess Holiday, blah, blah, blah. And I know I've been watching a lot of Amberlynn Reid lately, and it's only because I find the excuses amusing, but I'll get to that in a minute. So, it's not that I'm not body positive, right? Like, I know I am fat. I know I'm chubby. I know that right now I may not be at my goal weight or what I want to look like, but I also shouldn't, like, hate myself for that, right? Or, like, make it so bad that I go back to being anorexic or on drugs because I want to be slimmer, like, that kind of stuff. Like, I shouldn't hate myself so much that I want to change so badly that I would get into unhealthy ways to lose weight. And I am losing weight. I went from 267 to now I'm 260. So I'm losing weight slowly but surely on this physical therapy journey, on my trying to eat less journey. I mean, I've also had some really bad stomach issues though. So, you know, that contributes a lot of it to it when you can't eat. So, you know, but I'm tired of the excuses that everyone has, or like they're fat shaming me if they don't like my body. No, like, do I agree that people at a restaurant probably shouldn't stare at you eating while you're fat? Sure. Cool. Whatever. Do I agree that maybe they shouldn't, like, I don't know, come up to you and be like, hey, fatty, stop eating or something like that? Yeah, of course. Like, just common human decency and respect. But do I think that my doctor is fat shaming me because he wants me to lose weight? No. I am a particular case where I have diabetes and I have all this stuff that could get better if I lost weight. Now, even when I was skinnier than I am now, I still had diabetes, so it's not like it would completely go away. But of course, my numbers would be better, like everything would be better, so, and it's a healthier goal. And I don't understand, you know, that kind of stuff when it comes to it. So, like, that's not fat shaming. And that's also not, like, anything. Like, yes, do some medical professionals need to change the way maybe they talk to people? Maybe. But sometimes it's the only way that you can get it to come across, you know? Like, to be stern. And the only reason I say this is because I'm a dialysis PCT, and then I also do durable medical equipment. And sometimes you get some questions that you don't really believe are questions, or like you really want this patient to understand all the pros and cons of what they're doing to their body if they're making a negative choice. And I'm not saying that those doctors are right if they're just like making you feel super, super uncomfortable. Like, I'll give you an example. I had a hernia, and one of the doctors that I went to said, oh no, you're just fat, that's not a hernia. Like, you know, and then she went on about me being too young to have a kid, but that's really another thing. So that one I didn't really appreciate because I did actually have a hernia, and I got a hernia mesh, like, and my general surgeon and my PCP agreed that I had a hernia, so I don't know what this lady was on, but, like, yeah, I'm fat, but that doesn't affect, like, you literally having a bulge out of your, like, belly button. That's usually a hernia. Anyway, different thing. So, like, that I didn't appreciate, but, like, my doctor saying, hey, it could be beneficial if you lost some weight, or any doctor that I see, like, I see a back doctor and I see a pain doctor, and of course, both of them are going to tell me, hey, if you want to alleviate your back pain, lose weight, because that's a proven method of alleviating back pain. I am too big for my bones. I'm 260 pounds, like, which, by the way, I lost 7 pounds, so that's good, and I'm still on a weight loss journey and track. So hopefully I can come back to you in a year and be skinnier than I am now. We can watch these YouTube videos and laugh, okay? Like, anyway, but, you know, that's a proven way of losing weight. And I'm so sick and tired of excuses from people my size. I really am. Like, body positivity, yes, you shouldn't hate yourself to the point which you have an eating disorder, right? Like, I'm chunky right now, and I don't really appreciate my size or the way I look, but I also know from the past that I'm prone to eating disorders and doing drugs to be skinny. Like, I did a bunch of unhealthy coping to be able to get to the skinny size that I wanted to get to, and I did get there, but at what cost, you know? So, like, I don't think that fat people should hate themselves to the point where they have anorexia, or the point where they, like, want to do meth because they want to be skinny. Like, I don't agree with that, but at the same time, this whole health at any size is kind of bullshit, because, yeah, now you don't have high blood pressure. Yeah, now you don't have diabetes. Yeah, now you don't have stuff right now. But when you're in your 50s, whenever your estrogen starts going lower, or you start doing menopause, you're going to be really unhealthy if you're still the same size, right? So, yeah, while you're young, yeah, your weight might not affect a lot of things, right? And I don't want to hear the bullshit of, I have PCOS, so it's hard for me to lose weight. I have PCOS, and all that means is that for every pound that I lose, someone else might lose 2 or 3. That doesn't mean that I can't lose weight. It just means I need to work a little bit harder than the rest of people at it. It just means that maybe I can't do sweets as much. It just means that you just have to be more careful about things. Not that you can't lose weight, or, you know, I don't want to hear IUD or birth control. I have an IUD in right now, and I've lost 7 pounds in 2 weeks. So it's that, those kind of things are absurd. Like, if you have a medical condition that makes you gain weight, it's not going to make you gain 300 pounds of weight or 200 pounds of weight or even 100 pounds of weight. It's usually going to be around 15, 20 pounds, something like that, but that's manageable. Unless you have, like, a thyroid condition that's going unchecked and you're not taking your thyroid medication, then it's completely different, you know, because you're doing stuff to your body where you're leaving it unchecked, which is why whenever you go on a weight loss journey, you should consult with a doctor, see if there's not possibly anything else that could hinder you from losing weight, and also to make sure that you're healthy enough to do certain things. I'm not quite sure of the specifics because all my doctors just tell me to lose weight, so I don't really consult them before trying to lose weight. I do have diabetes, and, you know, losing weight would help that and all that stuff. I'm one of those people where even when I was skinnier, I had diabetes, so it's here to stay. But not the point. Me losing weight would help my diabetes. So my whole point is, like, I know a lot of chubby girls are like, yeah, body positivity or whatever. Sure, like, I don't think people should make fun of you openly because you're fat. Sure, like, that's a thing. If you're like 14, you're getting bullied constantly. I mean, that's what drove me to be anorexic and do a bunch of stuff, because I just really wanted to be skinny, because so many people, like, made fun of me for being fat. And then I was skinny for like 2 years, and that was cool, but I gained all that weight back because I did it super unhealthy. Like, so yeah, you shouldn't feel like that, and you should love yourself enough not to do, like, you know, not to do anorexia or bulimia or something unhealthy to lose weight. But this whole loving everyone, like, I'm not gonna make fun of you. I'm not gonna, like, be the bearer of bad news or whatever, but, like, when you start using body positivity as an excuse, like, oh, I like myself this way, and that might be true. Some people really do like to gain weight and like to be fat. I'm not one of those people. I know people that are like that, and if that's your goal, then great. I'm not gonna, like, say anything to you. But, like, I know a lot of people who are body positive that are still on, like, a weight, like, trying to get their bearings together, or they use it as an excuse as to why they don't want to lose weight or count calories. Like, oh, I used to have anorexia, so I can't count calories or lose weight or whatever. I used to have anorexia, I still count calories, I still count carbs, I still count all that stuff. And it has nothing to do with the anorexia in which I used to have, right? It has everything to do with I'm 260 pounds, which means I'm close to 300 pounds. And I need to get my shit together because I have a 2-year-old and I need to live. And with diabetes, like, I should not be this weight. With the back pain that I have, I shouldn't be this weight. With all the things that are wrong in my life, I shouldn't be this weight. So, I don't really believe in this healthy at all sizes. If you're overweight and obese by, like, my percentage, I'm supposed to be, like, 120 pounds and I'm 260. That's 140 pounds overweight. That's not healthy at any size. Like, I don't care who you are. That's not healthy. Like, if you're pushing near 300, it's not healthy. If you're pushing those boundaries of even near 200, it's really not healthy unless your height is that you're so tall that that's what's needed. Then obviously height to weight, I'm 5'2", so obviously I'm very unhealthy. But like, this whole health at any size is just bullshit. Like, cool if you don't have high blood pressure now. Cool if you don't have diabetes now. Cool if you don't have all those things and you're just chubby and that's the only thing wrong with you. What your doctors are warning you about and what other people are warning you about are later. Not now, later. You don't have it now, but you're definitely probably going to get it later. And I'm also coming from a medical field perspective because I see people on dialysis for diabetes. I see people on dialysis for being overweight. I see people on dialysis for high blood pressure, and all these things come with overweight. They have to amputate toes and all that kind of stuff because it's so hard to lose weight when you're older. It is so hard after menopause to lose weight. And you know who I see in my dialysis chair? Those people. Yes, there are people in healthy weights in dialysis chairs, but most of the people that I see are about my weight, heavier, sometimes a little bit lighter, but very rarely. They normally got diabetes from eating food they shouldn't eat and high blood pressure from stuff they didn't do. And yes, there are cultural diversities. There are people who are more prone to be on dialysis, such as Native Americans, African Americans, Hispanics. I'm Latino, by the way, just FYI. I'm Brazilian. But anyway, so those people are more prone to be on dialysis in the first place because they're more prone to getting diabetes, high blood pressure, stuff I don't really have to explain to people. And just because your weight isn't affecting your health now doesn't mean that it's not going to affect it later. My weight didn't affect me when I was a teenager. Not at all. I didn't have diabetes. I didn't have any of that. And I was about the same weight that I am now. So, but it affected me later on when I lost all the weight and then I gained it back. Diabetes came with it. I also got pregnant and I had gestational diabetes and it stayed, so there's that. But I was pre-diabetic. I mean, when I was skinny, I was super almost diabetes basically. And so it's not that I don't believe in the body positive movement. I just really don't like it because it's making people like Amberlynn Reid or people who are bigger have an excuse not to try to get skinny. Like, oh, people should just accept me the way that I am. Like, yes. People should be friends with you no matter what your weight. People should think you're pretty no matter what your weight. I believe in that, okay? I do. But at the same time, if your friend says, hey, maybe get a salad or I'm concerned about your eating, that's not them fat shaming you. That's them being a concerned friend. That's your doctor being a concerned doctor who took an oath for you to be well. It's a PCT telling you, hey, maybe this isn't the greatest route. And I'm saying all this and I'm fat. And I'm just saying, I'm just done with the excuses. I'm, super done with it. I'm done with people going, oh, I can't count calories because I used to have anorexia. Unless you're still underweight or you're still at a healthy weight or you're just a little overweight, 20 or 30 pounds. That sounds like a lot, but then yeah, I kind of agree with you. Okay, maybe you don't have to. But if you're my size and up going, oh, I used to have anorexia and now I can't count calories, I'm sorry, but like, you're almost 300 pounds. It doesn't matter. Like, you're going to shoot yourself into an early grave. And I'd honestly rather be skinny in an early grave than fat, but that's just my opinion. And I know some people are going to be like, oh, she's brainwashed by the media telling her she's not pretty enough or she's not good enough. And that's not really what I think. Like, I think I have a pretty face. I don't really like the rest of my body, and I know I can change it, and I want to change it, but I know my scars aren't going anywhere. I have a ton of scars because I've had a ton of abdominal surgeries. Do I think they're pretty? No. Do I think they're a part of me? Yes. Do I think they're ever going to go away? No. Do I think that once I get skinny, I shouldn't be able to, I don't know, grace the cover or something? No. I think that, my scars are my scars, and they're there for a reason. Do I think that I'm not pretty? No, not necessarily. Like, I don't think anyone should idolize me. I don't think anyone should be my weight. I don't think I'm a good example for people, and I really don't think Tess Holliday should have been on the cover of Cosmopolitan, and that's just my opinion. Because there's really nothing sexy about your health being in the tube. There's nothing hot about me waking up with back pain because I'm so heavy. There's nothing exciting about just the problems that I've endured because I'm overweight. And to glamorize that, I have a huge issue. Like, yeah, does it teach kids that they can be whatever body type and be beautiful? Sure. But what about those kids that like really look up to her and then start gaining a bunch of weight, and it's just unhealthy? And I don't care what people have to say. I don't care if I'm going to get a lot of hate comments. I really don't. Like, there's nothing sexy to me about you nearly killing yourself. And I'll say that for anorexics. I'll say that for anybody of any body type. There's nothing sexy about you trying to kill yourself, whether it be slow or painful or quick. Like, there's just nothing glamorous about mental health issues. There's nothing glamorous about that. And do I think that guys should call you ugly because you're fat? No. Do I think that people have preferences? Because that's another thing. A lot of girls are like, oh, you're fat shaming me if you're not into me. No, people have preferences. I'm a chunky girl, and I don't like chunky guys. That's just my preference. I'm a chunky girl. I'm bisexual. And I don't like chunky girls either. I have my own body that I look at every day that I don't really like. I'm not going to like it on you. Like, I dropped my phone. Sorry about that. Well, technically I dropped Jacob's phone because he has an iPhone and I'm doing it off of his phone. It's fine. It dropped in my lap. Anyway, there's no case on it, so he ran over. Anyway, but there's nothing like sexy to me about someone nearly killing themselves. So I don't think that guys have to think I'm sexy. I don't think guys have to think I'm pretty. Sure, are there some guys who are going to be totally into me? Of course. Just like there's a cheese for every type of mouse. Like, there is someone for everyone. So, do I think my life's going to be ruined because one guy that I had a crush on didn't like me? No. That's maybe just his preference. Maybe he thinks I'm really chill emotionally and he wants to be my friend, but maybe I'm not his cup of tea, like, in the sex department. And same with a girl. Maybe they find I'm a really chill friend, but they don't want to be my girlfriend. Fine. Do you. Not everyone has to like you. Not everyone has to like your body type. Not everyone has to love you. And I feel like we're in this society where everyone needs to like me and everyone needs to love me. And if everyone doesn't love me and everyone doesn't like me, then that's their issue and they're the problem. No, sometimes you're the toxic one. Sometimes you're the unhealthy friend. Sometimes you're the reason why something is going down the tubes. And I'll say that about myself. There are times when I think, maybe that other person just, like, hates me. No, maybe I'm just the unhealthy fuck that, like, fucked them over. Like, you don't know what it is to someone. You don't know if your vibe harsh to somebody else's vibe. You don't know all the ins and outs of somebody else, and they don't need to tell you. If someone breaks up with you, if someone says you're fat, if someone says you're ugly, they don't need to tell you their reasoning why. You're just not their cup of tea. And that's fine. Like, completely fine. And I feel like nowadays, people think if someone doesn't like your fatness or whatever, oh, that's fat shaming me because my crush doesn't like me back because I'm fat. And no, maybe it's not even your fat. Maybe they just like denied you because they don't like your vibe or they don't like you. Like, it doesn't always have to be about your body. Everything doesn't have to be about your body or whatever, because, you know, I've made that mistake where people break up with me and I'm like, oh, it's because I'm fat. No, it's not because of that sometimes. Sometimes it's just a matter of personal space, preference, all that jazz. And that's okay, because I've broken up with people before that I was super, super attracted to, but they're harsh in my vibe, they're harsh in my mellow, they're causing me to stress out, they're causing me to lose peace, and I'm done with it. So, yeah. And I think that people who idolize Amberlynn Reid, for example, who's almost 600 pounds, who's almost bedridden, who can never stick to any type of diet, who makes excuses. I've heard all the excuses. I'm still losing weight, and I'm on the IUD, and I have PCOS, and I have diabetes, and I have mental health issues, and I'm on mental health drugs, and I, do all this stuff, and that doesn't mean that you can't lose weight. None of it means that you can't lose weight, right? Some people need help. I'm not knocking people who get surgery. Do you? If that's what helps you, if that's what's needed, then fine, do it. I'm not knocking anybody who does any of that, but don't make excuses as to why you can't lose weight. It's pretty simple when it comes to weight, that if you intake less calories in which you burn, then you will lose weight. And that's just how the body works, unless you have a thyroid or metabolism issue, which is something that you would have to go to the doctor, get diagnosed, which is why you should always go to the doctor. Excuse me. Sorry. Before you lose weight. I can't edit this video because I don't have the editing software, so sorry, y'all. So, I'm just tired of it. I'm really, really tired of it. I'm tired of Amberlynn Reid's excuses. I'm tired of everybody saying, yeah, body positivity. That's fine. But the bottom line is you may not have health issues now, but you're going to have them later. And then, me as a dialysis PCT, I'm going to have to hook you on that machine. And you're going to hate me. Because you're going to be there for 8 hours a day, 3 days a week. It's going to be a painful experience. You're going to get nauseous and cramps. You're going to have all this stuff. Dialysis isn't just this thing that happens when your kidneys fail and it replaces everything. It does take some of the function of your kidney, but otherwise you're going to feel it. You're going to be in pain. You're going to be nauseous. It's a horrible, horrible experience. And if you could just save the time by losing weight now, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? Why would you want to be hooked up on a machine until you're really old, like your 90s or whatever? That makes more sense, right? I mean, everybody's body deteriorates at some point. But you might be seeing me in your 30s or 40s if you keep that weight up. You might be seeing me when you're really young because you decided to have that extra weight on. And I completely understand when people don't think I'm sexy because I'm on the brink of death. Might be a little bit extreme because I'm 260 pounds and not 500 or 600. But, the severity is the severity. You're not going to like it if you develop cirrhosis of the liver because you just had to have junk food all the time. And then now you're on a liver transplant list. And now you have 24 to 72 hours to live. That's not going to be pleasant. High blood pressure isn't going to be pleasant. Heart attack is one of the most painful things you can experience if you survive. Stroke is one of the most painful things you can experience if you survive. None of that's sexy. None of that's hot. Nobody wants to take care of you. I get it. I get it. Like, I get all these health nuts that are like, oh, body positivity is a horrible thing. I don't necessarily think it's a horrible thing. I don't necessarily think it's the worst thing. What I do have an issue with is people using it as an excuse. If you're using it as an excuse, then shame on you, because body positivity should really be, hey, I may not be where I want to be right now, but I'll eventually get there. And in the meantime, I'm going to love myself and forgive myself. That's what body positivity should be. Not, I'm 400 pounds and you should think I'm beautiful and I'm going to cram it down your throat until you do. That's not body positivity. That's just basically skinny shaming people. Anyway, that's my rant. Hope you're not super offended, but that's my rant. My normal videos are going to be me reacting to reaction videos, hence the name Reaction Inception. But I wanted to get this out there today because I just saw a bunch on my feed and I had to keep like telling YouTube, no, I don't like that. I was actually watching a great person that's like, You'll Get Offended, I think is her name, by what I say. I think that's what her name is. And she was talking about these body positivity moments, but she was doing it in a more balanced way. She wasn't like, oh, fat people should die. Like, she wasn't like that. She was just like, hey, it's not healthy, and this is how you can get healthy. And I appreciated that a lot. So that's my rant. It's going on 26 minutes now, so that's a pretty long rant. Bye, YouTube.